this special session on Education Board in India, what every parent must know. Hosted by Ethika, choosing the right education board for your child is one of the most important decisions you'll make as a parent. It shapes their learning experience, future opportunities, and overall development. Imagine this you are standing at a crossroad with multiple paths CBSE, ICSE, IB, Cambridge, and State Board, and many more, each promising a unique journey of learning. Today, we'll explore these paths. Today, we are privileged to have Parul Tripathi with us, an expert TEDx speaker, corporate trainer, and motivational speaker with over 15 years of experience in training and development. Parul is a certified trainer from the Indian Academy of Training and Development and has worked with top organizations and educational institutions, helping individuals make informed choice and excel in their personal and professional journey. Her expertise spans personality development, communication skills, emotional intelligence, and education counseling. In today's session, Parul will guide us through the difference between CBSE, ICSE, IB, and Cambridge and state boards, helping parents decode myths and align education with future and find the best for them. So please join me in welcoming Parul Tripathi.
Thank you so much, Ritu, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, all of you. I'm glad to have you all here, and thank you so much for the time that you are going to give me for the next 1 hour. I hope I'm able to add some value and insights into your life so that you all go from this session equipped with the knowledge that you can apply in your lives, and you can use it for choosing the correct board for your wards. May I know how many of you are parents here? I think everybody would be parent only. I want this, before I begin, I want the session to be interactive. So though anyways, we are like miles apart from each other, but still I want you all to feel the energy of each other. So let's try keeping the session engaging and interactive. We can interact with each other through the chats in the chat box. So I would encourage you all to, keep posting the chat. That would also motivate me to keep the session going. So are we all ready? Yes. Hemant, Vinny, Arun, thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. Karthik. Which city you all are from? Kindly write the name of your city. Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Mumbai. Okay, so we have folks primarily from Hyderabad, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune. Great. Okay, just a second. Okay, so we are starting with the workshop now, and a very warm welcome to all of you. And today's session, as you all know, it is all about making an informed and thoughtful choice for your children. I feel this is one of the most important decisions for parents to choose the right education board for their children. And we are not promoting any board here, but we want you to equip you with the clarity which will help you in choosing the right board for your children. Okay, so let me just start sharing my PPT with you all. Just give me a moment. So the purpose of this program is to make you all informed decision about choosing the right education board for your child, understand their learning style, their strength, their goal, and what are the options available. And what we are going to cover today, so we will be covering the key differences between what are the different education boards which are available. How do you assess your child's learning style and interest? There are, various myths also prevailing about different boards. So what are the myths, what are the reality in choosing a board, and a practical framework to make the right decision. But before we begin, I want you all to do an activity wherein you have to type what board did you study under, what was the school like back then, and what do you wish was different. So I know the timings were very different when we all would go to school, and today the timings are very different. People have a lot of knowledge, people have a lot of resources, so things have changed tremendously. And basically, there is no one size fits all when it comes to choosing a board. So these days, we have so much of options available of CBSE, ICSE, IB, IGCSE, and state boards. So parents, they often feel, overwhelmed. So my goal now would be here to navigate you all this choice by considering what truly matters, which is your child's personality, your child's learning needs, and their long-term aspirations. And so now we will be covering, I'm going to cover the key aspects of all the boards which are available in India. What are the challenges they have? What are their strengths? And post that, we will move towards the learning style of your kids, which will help you in making an informed decision. Okay. So now we're going to cover activity we have already done, types of education boards in India. First, we will start with the CBSE board. So CBSE is one board which is, accepted in India centrally, and there are so many states in India which follow, which have so many CBSE boards in them. And basically, CBSE board is meant for the people who are aspiring to compete for the competitive exams in India, like IIT, JEE, AIMS, and also the curriculum that they follow is very exam centered. What I was saying, that they have a strong focus on maths and science, and they have a very structured curriculum, which is ideal for national level competitive exams. And as far as assessment is concerned, they have continuous assessment, which they have introduced through CCE, which is continuous comprehensive evaluation. So earlier they would have 2 terms, but now they have divided the entire year into various, like they conduct tests throughout the year, which they do in with the aim of reducing the pressure on kids. So it is more exam focused board, and they focus more on academics. They have activity classes and all, but their overall aim is not on the overall development of the child. There would be few boards which are following CBC pattern, which might focus on developing the overall personality of the child, but mostly most of the CBSE schools, they are focused on exams, and they prepare the students as for the academics. Their focus is more on academics. Now moving on to the next board, which is ICSE board, which is Indian Certificate of Secondary Education. So ICSE board again is like very English and literature focused board. Though they like, unlike CBSE, which focuses on science and maths, they try to follow a very balanced approach, and they give equal attention to all the subjects, which includes literature, language, arts, and all. And they have their internal assessments and practical exams which are valued, and the content of the subjects is slightly heavier than the CBSE. So somebody who is not very academically oriented, I would not suggest ICSE board for them, because the content is very vast for the children to cover. Yes, no. Okay, okay. So most of the people, they were either in the CBSE or in the state board. Okay, okay. So basically, IB, it is a globally recognized board, and IB program is accepted by the university and institutions worldwide. So it focuses on educating the whole child, intellectually, emotionally, socially, ethically. And the approach that they follow to teach the children is very inquiry based approach. Means students, they learn through exploration and questioning rather than rote memorization. So they are encouraged to investigate, analyze, and then they come to conclusions independently. So they emphasize on critical thinking, creativity, and interdisciplinary learning. So interdisciplinary learning means wherein they merge all the subjects. Like, if they have a certain topic, they will try to explore it from the point of all the subjects. So here, then the students, they are encouraged to, like, solve the problems in a very real life kind of a situations. So students are taught to connect knowledge across subjects. For example, if there is if there is some topic, it will be related to all the subjects. And creativity is encouraged in this board through projects, arts, and self-expression. So IB is there, and then is the next one is the IGCSE. How many of you are parents here? Me, Vaishnavi, Neha, Kamlesh, ma'am. So many parents here. Okay, great, great. Okay. So IGCSE, is there anyone whose kids goes into IGCSE board? Ramesh, Suresh, Narayan. PPT is still at ICSE. Okay, just a sec. IB we discussed. Now we are discussing IGCSE. Okay. Yes. Ankesh is saying yes. Yes. So there are so many good kids who are going to IGCSE. So IGCSE is a Cambridge or UK board, and it is also recognized by global university, often seen in international schools, and they have open assessment patterns. And they are also like, more like IB board only, and they also try to focus on, so it's not as focused like IB focuses more on the entire personality development, whereas IB is like little academic focus if we compare it with the IB. So they have a wide range of subjects, and they offer almost close to 70 plus subjects, and they can choose combination based on their interests, strength and career goals, and they also emphasize on critical thinking, inquiry, communication and problem solving, and they make the kids do a lot of project work which are integrated into learning process. Their assessment and grading is kids are evaluated through written exams, oral tests, coursework and practicals, and medium of instructions for them again is English only. So that's about IGCSE. Then we have state boards. Just a sec. So state board, every Indian state has its own education board, like Maharashtra State Board, Tamil Nadu Board, Karnataka, and they are responsible for setting the syllabus, conducting exams and issuing certificates. So their curriculum is regionally focused. Syllabus is designed by the state education department, and if it often includes the local languages, regional culture, and textbooks are also published by the state board's textbook corporation only. And medium of instructions, it varies, like, sometimes it can be in Marathi if it is a Marathi state board, then Tamil or Telugu if it is in South, along with the English or Hindi languages also. And it is ideal for students who are more comfortable studying in their mother tongue. So their curriculum style is less rigorous and more straightforward compared to CBSE, ICSE or IB. And it is suitable for students who want to focus on local entrance exams or require a more affordable or less stressful education systems. Then state board would be good. And then affordability wise, generally they are like, most affordable among all the boards, and schools which are affiliated with state boards, they are found even in rural areas. And best students for students who are aiming for the state level entrance exams or government jobs, and families that relocate within the same states. So though people who are looking for cost effective, this board can be good. However, they come with their own limitations also, like recognition outside the state might be limited, or the the curriculum, it may lack depth and modernity. So it comes with its own challenges. So CBSE, ICSE, IB, IGSE, state boards we have discussed. Now let's see a comparative analysis of all the boards. So if we compare all the boards, then you can see in a nutshell that CBSE focuses more on science and maths, ICSE focuses more on languages and details. I mean, it is very detail oriented. Then IB is inquiry and research based. They follow inquiry and research based approach in the learning of the child. Then IGCSE's application, you all can have a look at it. I do not want to read it. And if there's any question, you can kindly put it in the chat box. Somebody asked, is state board students cannot compete, right, with national exams that comfort? So the curriculum is like, if somebody is wanting to appear for national level exams, then the best board suited for them would be CBSE, because CBSE is the exam which focuses on national level exams. State board students, if they are appearing for competitive exams, they can appear for the competitive those exams which are happening in that particular state. What does flexibility refers here? Flexibility in terms of subjects, the subjects which are being offered, like for CBSE, the flexibility of subject is very limited. Till 10th standard, everybody has to, like, study the same subjects that they have as a part of their curriculum. Then in ICSE's flexibility is moderate. I mean, ICSE, just a sec, questions. ICSE won't work for national exams like IAS, IPS. Yes, for national exams, CBSE is the best. However, if somebody has studied in ICSE, they can also appear for national exams. There are various other coaching centers. If they are, like, taking coaching from outside, that's fine. But somebody who has done it from ICSE, for them, it is not difficult to appear for national level exam because the curriculum is very lengthy. Whatever kids they are studying in 5th standard in ICSE, in CBSE, they teach in 7th standard. Some of the teachers suggested to state board CBSE students are not able to handle pressure, and I will address this query in the coming slide. Okay, so flexibility is clear. Some of the just a sec, chats are going up too fast. I am, like, yeah, thank you. Okay. So now we move with the next slide. See, while choosing board, one thing that we need to keep in our mind is that every child is unique. Children, they are not the mini version of ourselves. So every child have a different need. Every child has a different goal. Every child has a different strength, different weakness. So it's very important to understand your child well before choosing the board for them. So understand what is the learning style of your child, what is their strength, what is their interest. Are they interested in academics, or they are interested in creative activities, arts, exploring, are they of observatory, or are they of, like, exploring nature? So you have to be mindful of all these points while choosing the board for your children. Also, how they cope up with the pressure, exams, deadlines, stress, what are their long-term career goals. So these are the pointers which you all need to be keeping in mind while choosing the board for your children. Now let's see what are the different learning style one by one. So basically, when I say learning style, children learn the concepts differently. Like, few children, they learn by looking at the things, by looking at the videos, by looking at the by looking at the videos, by looking at the pictures. So those kids are visual learners. And the boards that can be best suited for them would be IGCSE or IB, because they use a lot of CBSE and ICSE board, they focus on traditional method of teaching. Though CBSE, ICSE also, they use a lot of, like, visual aids these days, but these boards are more, like, more prone towards visual learners. Then the next kind of learner is auditory learner. Auditory learner are the people who learn by listening. Yeah. So auditory learners are the learners who learn by listening. So somebody who likes to listen to group discussions, who like to listen to debates, who like to participate in debate, these are the child who are auditory learners. So for them, CBSE or ICSE or state board may be good for them. But so I was saying CBSE and ICSE is also good for the auditory learners. Next type of learner, we have kinesthetic learner. So kinesthetic learners are the learners who learn through movement, touch, hands-on activity, and experiments. And they like to enjoy by learning by doing things, by doing role plays, by field trips and all. So one example would be, like, if somebody is learning about the human body, then they would like to, like, do it through the 3D model rather than going through the textbook which is describing about the human body. So for them, then the best suited boards would be IB or IGCSE. So these are three different kinds of learner: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And you have to figure out, like, which kind of learner your child is, and how do you identify the learning style of your child. So observe how your child studies, or how your how your child plays, and ask, how do you like to learn something new? Try giving them some information in different form, a video, story, or a hands-on task, and see which one sticks. So you have to observe, and then gradually over the period of time you will get to know about the learning style of your child and why it matters. Children, they learn in a way that suits them, and if, like, if you, somebody who is visual learner, they are learning things by looking at things visually, then they will absorb the content faster, and they will grasp also it faster. So that is why it's very important to know the learning style of your kids. Now, can you all relate now when you have seen the different kinds of learning styles of kids, can you all relate what kind of learner your child is? If yes, then put the learning style of your child in chat box. My child is 2.5. That's okay. That's okay. Keep observing your child, and, like, over a period of time you will get to know. Great. I think the visual creative Vaishnavis. So the concept is clear. Now the next step while choosing the board for your children is to observe their strength, their interest. So type of strength, there are different type of strengths. So you need to know whether your child has academic strength. If I say academic strength, it means a child has interest in academics, and or they have linguistic strength, they have orientation towards subjects like languages, literature, so that is having linguistic strength. Or they have artistic strength, so child who loves drawing, painting, designing, acting, they are more of an artist, so they have then artistic strength. Then social strength, a child who interacts well with others, they lead teams or resolve conflicts, so that is having a social strength. So you need to know what are the strength of your child, and depending upon that only, that also can be a criteria while you're choosing the board for your children, because matching a board with your child's strength and interest, it helps them learn more joyfully. And children, they stay engaged and curious, and they develop deeper skills in areas that they care about. And this way they will also avoid frustration and underconfidence. Okay. And then the next step, next point that you should be aware of while choosing the board for your children should be how they cope up with the pressure. So few boards, like, the curriculum is very rigorous. Say for example, ICSE, the curriculum is very rigorous. So if your child is somebody who cannot take pressure much, then the ICSE board is not a board where they should be going. And you can then choose a state board for them, because there the academic pressure is not that much. And over a period of time you will get to know, like, how they are behaving before the exams. Are they getting jittery? Are they getting panicky? So that will give you an idea, like, how my child is able to cope up with the pressure. And the next step is think about what are their long-term career goals. So what are their long-term career goals? Like, is my child planning to appear for competitive exams which are happening in India, like IIT, JEE, medical entrance exams? Or my child is going to, or I'm going to, like, put him for the courses which are there abroad? Then IB and IGSC board would be best suited for them, because these are the boards that are recognized in so many countries. So these are the pointers which one should be aware of while making a decision for the board their child they should be choosing. So these were the learning styles which I had already explained. And now, myth versus reality. Is there any question that anybody wants to ask? Okay, somebody said I asked. I'm sorry, I missed it. Is there any ready list of countries in which IB in India is readily? Is there any ready list of countries in which IB and IGCSE curriculum in India are readily accepted and child can continue his her studies seamless? Or which? So there are list of countries, you can get to know about it. And what's the right age for kids to decide about board? So I think the right age for the kids to decide about board would be when they start going in first standard, because till the time they are going to pre-primary and play school, I think, or more or less every school is focused on developing the personality of the child is mostly involved in play. So first standard onwards would be like, because first standard onwards their actual studies will start, so that would be right age. I'm asking, how do you recognize all things when the child is only at entry? I'm asking, how do you recognize all the things you just explained when the child is only at entry level? A very valid question, Narayan. So it is not possible that you will be able to recognize everything. You all you have to be is just be aware of all these pointers and be mindful and be like, open, have an open eyes towards how, like, how your kids behaves in different situation, and how, what is your learning style. I think observing them from a very early age would be the right answer to this question. Okay, anything like anybody else who wants to? If I admit in IC and later if I wish, is it any different? No, there should not be any difficulty if, like, if you have admitted it your child in ICSE and then you want to move to CBSE, it is okay, you can get it done. Moving from CBSE to ICSE would be difficult, but moving from ICSE to CBSE is not difficult, because anyways, like as I had mentioned earlier also, whatever child studies in 5th standard in ICSE, they cover in CBSE to IB would be little difficult. CBSE to IB will be little difficult, but if you're like making the move in the early years, then there should not be any problem. But after 8th, because by then the child develops his own learning style, has its own comfort level, so then it becomes little difficult. Are the percentage scored in 10th, 12th grade calibrated by different factors for admission criteria? No, because IC students are tougher, they by 90 students might be somewhere from. Are the percentage scored in 10th, 12th grade calibrated by different factors for admission criteria? I'll have to check this. Okay, CBSE to IB I've already answered. I'm putting my daughter in CBSE school. So somebody has asked, I'm putting my daughter in IGCSE from 2nd grade. So how is the pressure as she was in CBSE school in 1st grade? So that is fine. I think she should be able to deal with the transition well, because the learning style would have been little different, but because she is very young, so she'll be able to cope up and she'll be able to make this transition. Hi, my younger son is a bit slow in academics. Can I change him to CBSE to ICSE? Can I change? If Vanita, you're saying that your younger son is a bit slow in academics, so then knowing this point, making a transition from CBSE to ICSE would not be a good idea. Acceptance of IB boards for highest. Okay, thanks. Okay, we will cover next 2 slides and then I'll answer the remaining questions. Yeah. So there are, certain myths also which parents should be aware of. So sometimes they feel that state boards are inferior. So some state boards, they offer excellent quality education at a lower cost in the local language. And they are suitable for family focused on regional entrance exam or government careers. So it's a myth. Then IB and IGCSE are only for rich or NRI kids. No, these boards, they do have higher fees, but they offer global exposure, creative freedom, and interdisciplinary learning. So it is not about money, but it is about the approach. Then state boards are weak. Reality, some, I think this I've already cleared. Moving on to next slide. Now, this is the decision-making framework that one should keep in mind while choosing the board for their children. So know your options, research the available boards in your city or area. You visit the school website, attend open houses, and speak to educators, and look at the curriculum samples. What are the assessment patterns, and what are the offerings, extracurricular offerings that they are doing. Don't solely rely on what others are doing. Then know your child, match their learning style and interests, understand what is your child's learning style, what are their strengths, what are their interests, and what is their personality, and ask yourself what kind of environment does my child thrive in, and basis that you take decision. Then think long term, consider future goals. So when I say think long term, you think about what are your child's potential academic or career path. Do you plan to stay in India or move abroad? And what will be the child need 5-10 years down the line? Global exposure or competitive exam prep or creative freedom. So this is also very important point that you should keep in mind. And the one tip which I would like to share here would be a flexible board allows your child to keep doors open while they explore. And the next step is choose what fits. Focus on your child's growth, not on the trends. So uh, choose a board that matches your child's natural learning rhythm, not just what relatives, neighbors, or society expects. Ask, will this board build my child's confidence and help them love learning? And the right fit creates less resistance, less stress, and more growth. So these are the framework that you should keep in mind while you're trying to choose the right board for your kid. And I think with this, my session gets over. We can again get back to the question. What is your take? Which is the best board for average student? Okay. So when you say average student, in what sense? Like, academic per se? And what options do you want to choose it from? So somebody who is average, either CBSE or IB, because IB, it is also not, again, very academic, this thing. They try to focus on the overall development of the child. So during the process, the kid will also get to know about their interest area. And even the teachers in the school, they will motivate the child after they have known their passion. And I think CBSE or IB would be a good option. Many
Parul,
schools.
before that, I just wanted to say, I'll just I'll just launch an poll. Please respond to that, and then we can take the questions. I just launched the poll. Chat, please respond to the poll. Parul, meanwhile, you can take the questions.
IG and IB share the same concepts of learning and development, pretty much same. After standard 10th, any child from IB can avail any course in India to visit. After standard 10th, any child from IB and IGCSE board can avail any course in India too. Yes, yes, of course. Which board is recognized wider overseas? Both. If somebody has asked which board is recognized wider overseas, so I think both boards, but it depends which country, like which country. So you'll have to check it country wise. Exact data I'll not be able to provide you right now, but mostly both the boards you will have to go and check country wise. My daughter finished 10th in CBSE. If we shift to Maharashtra State Board, is it easy after 10th, especially for 12th, as she is going to pursue commerce, especially MBA or BBA finance? Yes. So usually if we compare CBSE and State Board, the curriculum is little lighter. So if your daughter wants to shift from CBSE to after 10th into State Board, then she can do that. But yeah, she can do that. One of kid not interested in studying, interested in, is there any sports covering is there any sports covering boards? Sports covering boards. I actually did not get the question, but what one of the okay, if he's so Rajesh, you're asking your kid is interested in sports. So there are you search about the schools in your locality. There are schools, irrespective of the board they follow, they are very sports oriented. So you figure out the schools in your locality which are the extracurricular offerings they have, and you can ask from the parents in that school, like if you've gotten some input, some feedback, you can again further cross check with the parents, and basis that input and information you can make a call for your kid. So
here I see what is your take? Which is the best board for the average student?
Mhm. So see, if you can afford, I think for an average student, IB board would be the best because they focus on developing the overall personality of the child, not just, they are not just focused on developing the child academically, but they will try to, focus on the overall development of the personality of the child. So in my opinion, IB would be the best.
Yeah. And here is a one more question. What is the best board to strike the balance between national level exams and going to abroad?
What is the
Best board to strike the balance between national level exams and going to abroad?
strike the balance between the national level exams and going abroad? So if a child is appearing for national level exams, then most probably they would be appearing only after 12th. So then for that you have to stick to CBSE, because CBSE follow NCRT's curriculum, and in all the Indian competitive exams, the NCRT's curriculum is this thing, is questions are asked from NCRT book. And like if the child is planning to move after completing their graduation, then of course there are coaching institutes which can help them in getting admitted in different universities outside India. So I would not say balance. First you focus what is your short term goal, achieve it, and then you move towards the other goal, and what are the help required, you can get it from your external environment. So it is about your goal, I would rather say.
Yeah, we are having one more question. What will be the approximate fees structure on each board starts from grade 1?
Okay. So fee structure, you will actually, it varies from city to city and school to school. It will vary. You'll have to check it in your locality. Uh, for example, and standard wise also fees varies. So which age group you're looking for, that also like if you can be specific, maybe I can share some code, but it varies. So you'll have to check in the schools in your locality, and then you can get the idea.
Yeah. From Money, we are having a question. Is it
Hmm.
advisable join in any local school, CBSE, and join them in another activities after the school hours instead of sending them into international school?
Yes, you can do that, because most of the time international boards and IGC CHC boards fees is very sometimes parents are not able to accommodate it in their budget. So in that case, you can put them in the CBSE schools, and you can put them in the activity classes, which most of the parents they already do. So it's a good idea to focus on the academics also, and at the same time ensuring that your child is getting extracurricular activities exposure also. Sometimes schools also they focus on few activities, but then those activities might not be of interest of your child. So you figure out which are the activities they are interested in, and then you accordingly put them into the classes.
Yeah. So IGSE and IB is more expensive than CBSE and ICSE. Somebody.
Yes, it is. It is.
So which board do you recommend to join?
Which board do I recommend between IGCSE and IB, or CBSE?
Like in all the boards, ma'am. Like which one you feel best?
See, if you're asking, that is what it is, not about like which I am recommending. It is about what is the need of your child, and if somebody is trying to focus on the overall development, which I feel every parent should focus on the overall development of the child, then I would certainly recommend IB board, because IB may they focus on developing the personality of the child, and they are not just focused on academics. Whereas CBSE and ICSE, they are little academically focused. Of course, the schools would be having their extracurricular activities, but that might not be of interest of child's interest. So in that case, you can, as somebody had already suggested, you can put them in CBSE school, about their interest area, and then put them into activity which will suit their interest. That also is a good way to make a balance between focusing on child's development and at the same time accommodating your budget.
Yeah, thank you so much, Parul. And we are having a question from Vaishnavi. What option or next after 10th for a IB and Cambridge students in India? What are the options available?
So here we are only focusing on the board. For that, I think I would not be an apt person. A career counselor would be an apt person to answer this question.
Annam, you can speak. You guys are not audible, actually.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, Neha, you are audible now perfectly.
Yeah, I was asking that if the kid is planning to go overseas for higher studies, then majorly whether it's entrance test based or they will get more marks because they have studied in IB board or say IGSC board.
Can you repeat your question?
I'm saying if the kid is studying till 12th in India and after that it's planned to go overseas for higher studies, then in majority of the overseas universities, whether it's entrance test based, and if yes, then the board in which the kid has studied doesn't matter. Or they give more recognition because the kid has studied in IB board versus CBSC or say IGCSE.
So if if the kids they are making transition after class 10th and they have not been to IB and IGSE, then they will have their own test and they will have their own different criteria for taking the admission. But if the kid has already been in IB and IGSE, then it would not be an issue.
Thank you. One more question. Actually, it's always, nice to put the kid in a school where they get a holistic study atmosphere and they have an overall development. But I have personally observed that the kids, like in say fourth, fifth standard, who are studying in IB board, they don't have a great writing skills. Like even Hindi is our mother tongue, but they struggle to write in Hindi, and
Hmm.
that gives a little low confidence to parents to continue their education in IB board.
Hmm.
Wanted to know your view on this aspect.
So you're specifically talking about Hindi,
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about writing, especially like Hindi language, say it's our mother tongue. So if a
So
kid is studying,
it's a general, I feel it's a general, parents these days, they are though Hindi is like our national language, but parents, they feel it's okay. But I also feel it's, as a mother, I also feel it's a concern. And I don't know, it's not a board specific problem as per my observation. Even if a kid is in ICSC or CBSC, their Hindi comparatively is little weaker. So I think then as a parents, we should be mindful and, timely we can go and meet our teachers of the school and we can figure out like how we can focus more on developing the language ability. So it's a very general problem and even I have also observed.
Hey Parul, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so Parul, I have come across like premium schools are there where like typically like very rich people send them their wards. So typically, what is their board? Is it like state or IGSC or ICSC? What is the board?
Yeah, so it would be either IB or IGCSE only. Uh, I mean, you're asking me the board of the,
Board.
yeah, so it would be IB or IGCSE only because schools these days have become more like a status symbol only. So parents sometimes they flaunt that my kid is going to this school, my kid is going to that school, and when they flaunt, it is mostly about the fees that they're paying for. Usually premium fees is charged by IB and IGCSE only. uh, but then as a parent we should be mindful of all the pointers which I've shared with you all, and we should not just be coming under the peer pressure that this is the board my friend's kid is going and that is expensive, and if I put my kid also in that school, no, then I'll feel good. So it is not about your feel good factor. It is all about child's learning style, child's need, child's long term goal, and basis that only the board has to be decided. As I've already said, that IB, personally, I feel IB board is the best board if we can afford, because there they focus on developing the overall personality of the child.
And a follow-up question to that, like if you like if the trend now you see like more and more Indians and even globally, they are actually towards moving towards early job or sometimes like a startup kind of culture, where
Hmm.
very young people also,
Hmm.
come out and start working
Yes.
in
Yes.
some creative, innovative
Hmm.
field. So
Hmm.
in that case, now you have these 4 or 5 boards which you listed.
Hmm.
What do you think is conducive board which can give wings to the child?
See, your question actually is very interesting. Having been teacher myself in CBSE and ICSE board schools, our curriculum is very old. We are still following the curriculum which was based of industrial age, but now it is the age of I new things are coming. So whatever they are learning now will be relevant 3 years, 5 years down the line. I doubt that also, because things are changing very fast. Somebody who has made their career in programming in last decade, they might get laid off very easily, because chat gpt and so many AI tools have come and people are getting laid off. So you have to keep figuring out what are the new things that are going in the around you, and how you can make your child learn new things, because sometimes especially CBSE and ICSE schools, they are not that focused on new technology or like introducing new subjects into the curriculum as per the demand of the current times. So as a parents, we need to be more vigilant, and if there are any activity classes around, maybe we can put them into those activity classes. Otherwise, I feel IB or IGCSE board anyway is better than CBSE or ICSE if the child is not planning to appear for the competitive exam. So I just to answer your question, this Zepto founder, he actually had gone to Stanford and he left his study in between, and he came and he opened his own company. So I think it is all about developing self-confidence, and then upgrading yourself, upgrading your skills through different classes, which also matters. I personally feel that. And as a parent, you have to ensure that your child is learning new things, and softer skills become more important in this case.
Mhm. That apart from Zepto, like there are so many, like dropouts
Hmm.
who sometimes like challenge this framework of schools also.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think, anyways, I mean, it is going to be a deep discussion, which,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Maybe we can connect separately on
yeah,
this.
we can
Thank you.
connect separately.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, this is Chitra here. So I have a question. So my daughter is more of artistic person and she socializes very easily and she's a quick learner. So do you think the IGSE board will suit her? And I also have a question like, does IGSE board have a lot of assignments compared to CBSE? I mean, how does it vary?
Okay, so see, if your daughter is very artistic and like socially, she's very very pro socially, she likes to meet people, then one board that I would suggest for her would be IB. And what was your next part of question?
So the city I'm around, I don't see IB schools. I have IGCSE and CBSEs, but there is no IB school. That's why I'm asking
So
for.
you can then put her, like, if you can afford, you can put her in IGCSE. But if she's planning to appear for national level examination, then I would suggest CBSE. And the approach that they follow in CBSE, how is that different from the approach that they follow in ICSE? Is like they follow a very project-based learning in ICSE. So, if your topic is climate change, in CBSE you would be having a chapter on climate change. How will a child study climate change in CBSE? They will read the chapter, teacher will explain that chapter, and then they will be made to do the answers based on that chapter. Whereas in IGCSE they'll follow a research style. So everybody would be given different topics under the heading climate change. A child will select one topic, they will do their independent research through books, articles, podcast, news channel, whatever, and then they will make their own presentation on that in front of the whole class. So this pushes them to be more creative, because during the process, they'll be searching for different sources of knowledge. So it will not be very book based kind of a knowledge. Here they'll be pushed to explore their creative genes. Their presentation skills will also be polished, and it will arise a natural interest of the child in that particular topic, because they'll be pushed to do things on their own. So that is the major difference between the teaching style, I feel. So here it is more textbook based, and here it is in the IB and IGCSE, they follow a very practical approach towards learning.
Okay, and I keep hearing like from parents who are around me, like there are a lot of assignments that they give it to children in IGCSE compared to, is it true, or like
See,
am I?
assignments in form of projects would be there, because when the approach is not very textbook focused, so obviously when they are doing research, and every subject is wanting them to learn on their own, so assignments will be there. So you choose, if the child is able to cope up with that pressure, then fine, you make him enroll him for the IGCSE school. Otherwise CBSE is good, and you can apart from, like, if the child is just going to school, maybe you can put him in the activity classes which interests him and which you feel will be apt for him. So that also would be a good idea to do.
Okay,
But definitely putting a pressure on the child would not be good.
yeah, okay.
We have a question from Taslim. We have a new trend like homeschooling. So it is good for their future.
Homeschooling, it depends. Like, if somebody wants to homeschool, then the parents have to be very self-motivated. Also, the parents, they should be knowing where they want to direct their kid, like, which is the area they want to direct their kids. So in that case, homeschooling would be a good option. But why? I mean, there are other factors also in the background, which plays behind homeschooling. So I would like to get into detail. It's it differs from people to, if somebody is being homeschooled, they could have their own reasons. You can't say that this is the trend, so I'll also follow that. So,
Yeah, thank you for
is it good for their future? It varies from like families to families. When children, they go to school, there's a different kind of learning that they acquire. They are not just learning the subjects, they are mingling with the kids, so they are learning the softer aspects of the education also, which might not happen if the kid is being homeschooled.
Yeah, thank you. And any suggestions you wanted to give to parents?
Yeah,
Before
so
that,
suggestion, I think only suggestion that I would want to give to parents is that do not pressurize your kids for be academically oriented. Every child is different. Every child is unique. They have their own learning style. They have their own abilities. Now you try to figure out, focus from an early age, observe your child and figure out what could be the area that could interest them and how they can make their future in that area, so that when they are getting into any profession, they are actually enjoying. Now, many of us might be working for different reasons, but we might not be enjoying our jobs. So that should not happen with our kids. So being a parent, it's our responsibility to figure out. There are various tests available at early age. You can make them go through tests. You can take them to the counselors, which can give you an idea that these could be the probable interests for the children. And then accordingly, you can take your decision. But please do not pressurize them to do good in boards, to do good in academics. If my neighbor's child is getting 90%, why you are just getting 80%? You should be at par. That age has gone, and it is not going to help anyways. It is the age of artificial intelligence, and if the child is just focused on doing one thing, they will be very easily replaced by by AI. So try to give them exposure of different things, and focus also on the softer aspects of the personality, like leadership skills, communication skills, emotionally, how do you make your child more emotionally intelligent, how do you make sure that they are communicating excellently. So those things also should be focused equally, because humans are always going to have an edge over artificial intelligence. We should be knowing how do we exploit technology for our own benefit rather than getting exploited by the technology. So I feel as a parent, we should be aware of all these points, and then we will be in a better position to direct the learning of our kids and give them a good future career options.
Yeah, thank you so much, Parul, for the wonderful message. So I wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to you, Parul, for sharing your valuable knowledge and expertise. Your guidance has provided us with a clear understanding of education board and how they impact our children's future. So, and before ending, I wanted to thank you, the beautiful audience, taking time to join here. And next Friday, we are having a session on using food as a medicine, reverse illness with every bite. So, everyone, please do register. You can log into the Ethica portal, and or else you will be receiving every Monday one email from your HR or from your teammate. So, please do register for the next session also. And I wanted to thank you, Parul, for once again.
I would also like to thank you, Ritu, for the opportunity, and also to the wonderful audience who were listening to me. You all were very engaging, and it kind of motivated me to further be engrossed in the session. So thank you so much once again, and have a great evening to all of you.